Hi, I want to talk to you about memorizing skills today. Um, Doing GCSE languages, whether this is French, German, Spanish, or any other modern foreign language, currently you've got controlled assessments dotted throughout year 10 and year 11. You happen to have a German example in front of you right now, and this one happens to be about the topic of family. Please bear in mind, this is only one paragraph of a controlled assessment, so in your full-length controlled assessment, you'd probably have something that's 6 times as long as this. Now, memorizing a lengthy text like this is simply a daunting task. Quite often, you won't have had any other subjects where you had to memorize that much so thoroughly. And you've probably already invested a lot of time putting this amazing script together. Now, please remember, you could have the most amazing script in the world, but if you don't memorize it properly and then produce it on the day, it's not worth anything. That's why the memory skills have become so important in languages. Now, please don't ever leave it to the last minute to try and memorize these gigantic texts. Okay? A chunky 2-hour session the day before the exam will not result in the right kind of exam performance that you're going to be after. You need to train your memory, and your memory is trainable. That's the good news, as long as you feed it and train it little and often. Now, obviously, before you start, you want to be sure of your pronunciation. So, you have checked out beforehand, in this example, tricky words like Schwierigkeiten. You're happy that it's egoistisch and not egoistisch, that it's ich rather than ich, and that it's Beispiel, etc. Okay? When you're memorizing this text, you don't want to be distracted by any questions of pronunciation. Now, students have generally told us that they find it easiest to produce their script in the very first lesson of their controlled assessment season. So, getting their script done, and that then means they have the other 4 or 5 lessons to actually devote their attention to memorizing it. Now, remember, you're going to break this down into little chunks, okay? Don't try and learn it all in one go. And students have also successfully tested recording themselves and listening to it. So on your mobile or MP3 player, record yourselves and listen to your text, because that then taps into your auditory memory and makes it easier for you to recall the right pronunciation and the rhythm of your text. You're going to break it down into little chunks, okay? So somebody said yesterday, actually, Miss, I learn 3 words at a time. For me, that works. Okay, let's have a look at our example. So we might read out our paragraph, and I might start with, okay, I've memorized es hängt davon ab, going to blank it out and read this paragraph over again. Es hängt davon ab, wer das ist, etc. Now, the next time I read my paragraph, I'm going to blank out the next bit, wer das ist. So, let's start again. Es hängt davon ab, wer das ist. Ich komme sehr gut, etc. Okay? Now you keep repeating this process, and with time, you will work your way through the entire paragraph and obviously through the entire text. We have at school, as another tool to help you, a set of mini whiteboards. They're about the size of an A4 sheet of paper. Now, I know that teachers even sometimes allow students to take them home over the controlled assessment time, and the way students use them is by rewriting their already memorized text and checking which bits they already know confidently and which bits they are struggling with. Now, if it's a writing controlled assessment, you can check that you're getting your spellings and your verb endings, etc. correct. And but this would very work very well for a speaking controlled assessment as well. So a mini whiteboard, if you wanted to invest into any additional revision tools, this could help you for any subject, really. I think they cost about £3 or £4 if you look in the right places. That could be a good idea as well. So let's imagine for a moment we've memorized this text. So we've taken our couple of afternoons. We've maybe gone over this a couple of times after that already. I need to write my prompt sheet. Remember, you're allowed 40 words in total for your entire script. So I have to be very selective about the words I pick from this paragraph here for my prompt sheet. Now, there are two different strategies here, really. One is that I write down on my prompt sheet the first word in each sentence. Because you've practiced this so much and it's stored in your auditory memory, simply knowing the first word of the sentence then triggers your memory to recall the rest of the sentence. It's a really good strategy to use if you're confident with your paragraph. Now, the other technique that some students use is they've picked the most difficult words, okay? The ones they tend to stumble on. So maybe it's verstehen, maybe it is Schwierigkeiten, maybe it's Unternehmen. So it's about 5-6 words you could pick from this paragraph for your prompt sheet. Now, you want to allow probably about 2 days, 3 days between having memorized your script and the actual exam. Because don't underestimate how often you might need to go over, and just revise that and check where you might still have some gaps in your learning.